Hello, and welcome to Seniors Count. I'm your host, Tula Mall. On our show, we believe that you are the foundation on which Boston was built. So our goal is to connect you to resources, benefits, and information to enhance your life. Thank you for joining us. Today, my guest is Christina Maryland, the Director of Communications and External Affairs at the City of Boston's Office of Emergency Management. She joins us today recognizing National Preparedness Month this September. Welcome to the show, Christina.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, we're so happy to have you here.
I'm happy to be here.
So tell us about September being National Preparedness Month.
So National Preparedness Month is a nationwide effort. It was started by FEMA, I want to say about 2002, 2003, and it's been an annual thing that's happened every year in September to celebrate preparedness and encourage and educate people to start taking care of their families and themselves.
What does the Office of Emergency Management do to prepare Bostonians for emergencies?
We do a lot of things, but to simplify it, we help to coordinate resources for public safety agencies. So police, fire, and EMS, we assist in providing them any of the resources necessary during an incident, also before and after incidents. We assist families if they're displaced and sheltering and helping them find short-term or long-term solutions in collaboration with other agencies like yourself, D&D, Department of Neighborhood Development, and the Office of Neighborhood Services.
What constitutes an emergency that you guys would assist with?
An emergency?
Give me a small one and then a large-scale one.
Okay. So you know, to everyone, an emergency is very different. But
yeah.
Overall, a fire could be a really small-scale emergency.
Okay.
It could be something electrical. It could be a space heater that sets your home on fire, or it could be something that is completely unrelated to you, and a building next to yours caught on fire. That's the most common type of emergency we see in the city, especially during the winter months and also in the summer months with grilling. So it varies a lot of the times. But then a larger emergency is something like Hurricane Sandy or the Boston Marathon bombings. We see those where they affect a large-scale number of people, and it's more widespread.
Okay. What about like a couple years ago? There was that. Was that Sandy when there was a lot of flooding? Do you guys deal with that too?
So we do in a sense. We work with departments like Greenovate. Well, Greenovate is a part of the Environment and Energy Department, but we work with those departments, Public Works, and a number of other departments across the city at the Boston Emergency Operations Center, which is not too far from this studio, where we get everybody in the same room so that they're looking at the same operating picture, and we can deploy resources quickly, and we're all sharing information. So essentially that's what we do, is we make sure everyone is sharing information and playing from the same playbook.
So you're like the connector.
Yes.
So everyone's doing kind of their own thing.
Absolutely.
And you guys are the ones that like, oh, did you know so-and-so is, going to do this and, has this resource, and the connector. Oh,
exactly.
An important part.
It's a very important piece.
Absolutely. What does your office do in this month to kind of educate folks?
So we do a number of different things. For this year, we're doing something a little different. We're hosting an event in collaboration with the Boston Centers for Youth and Families. So that's the biggest change. But overall, we go and we do a lot of outreach to the neighborhoods and community organizations, providing them with different types of giveaways and freebies, and talking to them about preparedness, going through all the steps that it takes to become prepared, and really trying to educate them on why it's so important. Also, we have our website, and we're launching a new revamped page that celebrates Preparedness Month, but also gives everyone a daily actionable tip so that they can start to take the little steps to preparedness. And really we're working harder on creating a more cohesive preparedness program for the city. So it doesn't just include emergencies, but it also includes climate change and public health preparedness as well, because all of those things are really well connected. The climate changes, and that creates extreme weather patterns, and that affects emergencies because certain things come up where it affects someone's livelihood or their quality of life, whether it's long-term or short-term. And then with public health, if you have an outage, your food might not be safe. So those are things that people need to know about, and we work to connect all of the dots.
So it's funny because you lead, one of the questions I want to ask you is what does it mean to be prepared? And I think that kind of leads into it because it means different things for different events, right?
And for different people. You know, I think with like a senior citizen population, it's very different for them because a lot of them are on different medications. They have maybe durable medical equipment, or also they have a smaller support network. And so it really does vary with each person, but overall, that's why we encourage people to talk to their families and talk to their support network. So if you have a caregiver, we encourage you to create a plan with them and talk to them about it. Talk through your concerns and talk through some of the things that you may need during that time. We talk to people about creating a kit, which is a big task, but it can be done in small increments. I tell people, you know, if you need 30 things in your kit, then take 30 days to do it and get one thing each day. And then we tell people to stay informed. So we have Alert Boston, which is the city's notification system. You get messages sent to you through email, through text messaging. You can get a voicemail call.
I get those.
Or you can get TTY, which is great because it really does allow everyone to use it. And we're also going to be hopefully launching with the vendor the ability to use it as an app as well and get push messages.
So 2 questions, and we'll do one at a time.
Yes.
So want to talk about preparedness. And I mean, you said preparedness could be a lot of things. What are some simple things? And then you mentioned on your website, is there a list of ways that people can start the conversation with their caregivers or with their families? Because it seems like a pretty big thing to even start thinking about. Is there something on your website that people can print out and say, okay, we need to have this conversation, this is how we start it?
Definitely. You know, that's one of the barriers to preparedness, what I call a barrier to preparedness.
Absolutely.
Everyone thinks that it's such a big task that they'd rather just not do it. So that's
pretend.
why I try to break it down into little steps so everybody can feel like, you know, okay, I can do this step, that's one step closer. So to answer your questions, on our website, we do have the Family Preparedness Planner tool, and basically it's an interactive planner where it walks you through the steps, and it's through Flash, so it has like a book turning pages, and it explains everything that needs to be explained, and we translated it into 5 additional languages outside of English. So a lot more people are able to use this and prepare their families, but it also explains why you need certain things in your kit, and it walks you through all the things that we recommend as a baseline for putting into your emergency kit, and it gives you the information about where your emergency shelter is located based on the address you put in as well.
What's the languages that it's in?
It's English? Translated into Chinese, both simplified and traditional, Vietnamese, Portuguese, and Haitian Creole, and Spanish.
Okay, I was like, that's cool.
I'm like, I knew it was one of them. Yeah. So we translated it into those languages, and it's available on the city's website on our page for everyone to use.
Great. Now let's talk about the kit. So you brought some stuff to show us. So these you guys give these away at different events, right?
Yes.
But talk us through what the kits that you guys give away has. So
okay. So I'm not going to open this one. I pulled a couple of things out that I think are important out of our Ready Boston bag. Okay. And so this is a bag that you can fill with 3 gallons of water. And that's what we recommend per person per day, 1 gallon of water for drinking. So this will be enough water for 1 person to survive on over 3 days.
Okay.
So that's your water bag. Dust masks can be a little scary, but we recommend that people have dust masks because you never know if there might be an airborne type of allergen or something, not just necessarily related to an emergency, but if you go into an emergency shelter, you might not have a tolerance for something that somebody is wearing, and it helps to alleviate those types of symptoms.
Talk a little bit more about this, because there's some at the store, but not all of these masks are made equally, right?
No.
So this is a special mask.
Well, so this is really one with 4 panels. So it allows cleaner air to come in, and it really filters out all the dust and all of the allergens that might be included in the air that surrounds people in an emergency shelter or an emergency situation. I recommend this because when we do open emergency shelters, we do shelter pets. And that doesn't mean that the pets will be in the same room as people,
Yeah.
but it does mean that we will give people access to take care of their animals. We want them to continue operating as normal. And that means that someone could come in and have pet dander on them. So this is really important for folks who may have an allergy or may just not have a tolerance for dander. I'm allergic to dust. I get very sneezy and sniffly when it's around me. So I would need something like this, and some people just need those extra.
And what's the
barriers.
lifespan of that?
So the lifespan of this, I actually do not know, but I would say that I would try to replace these at least every year or two.
No, what I'm asking is, once you have it on, is
Once
there like
you-
a saturation point? Maybe is a better word.
You know, it's kind of like one of those. Use it for a day and then forget about it and let it go, because it fills up. It's no different than let's say a water filter that you use, and there's only so much dust it can hold before it can't hold it anymore, or it limits your breathing. So I would say use it for the day and then discard it. But if you're in an emergency shelter, we'll always have extras.
Okay, good to know.
We'll always take care of people. We also have this handy dandy.
It's already on.
Yes, I turned it on. It is a crank
Ooh,
flashlight
it is
radio.
really bright.
So this is not battery operated, it's crank operated. And it's a radio and it's a flashlight
And
as
it's
well.
a radio.
So what it is it helps people to stay informed, but also to see in case there's a power outage, which is really awesome.
And it's got a nice little handle.
And it has
easy
a
to
nice
carry.
little handle, easy to carry. So, you know, it's very helpful for people. We also recommend emergency blankets. These are really great.
That's a blanket?
It's an emergency survival blanket.
Doesn't look like a blanket.
So if you think about the Boston Marathon or any type of outdoor sport, and when people cross the finish line, they throw the aluminum foil looking thing over them. This is aluminum foil for your body.
Can you open
it? Yes, I can. Hopefully it doesn't cause a glare on the camera. But
because it's actually silver. For some reason I thought it was going to be yellow.
It's large enough, and this actually helps to keep in about 75% of your body heat, so it really is very helpful. It's very thin, and it can seem very fragile, but it will keep your body heat in. So this is why, there's a very good reason why they use this during marathons. And this is great, especially if you're in the home and the heat goes out. It will help to keep you warm under the blankets.
So cool.
Yes. So this is an emergency blanket.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. It's almost see-through.
Yes, it's very thin, but it actually does the job very well. So this is great. First aid kit is always an important thing to keep in there. I know I am accident prone, and I tend to cut myself and hurt myself a little bit too much. So
what is the accident prone? What does that first aid kit contain?
So this is a basic first aid kit. It contains a handful of different size bandages, some gauze strips, definitely some bacitracin to help clean out cuts, and a couple of Q-tips for application as well. Okay. So this is really, really small, but it is definitely something that is necessary. And then last but not least, this may seem a little silly, but this is a glow stick. And so what this does is it'll just help you see like your bearings. So let's say you don't have your flashlight near you, but you know where it is. And if you have a glow stick in your nightstand or something, you can kind of get an idea of how far down the hallway or where the stairs are. I usually, when I had a blackout, I threw them down the stairs so I could see where they landed, because I didn't want to fall down the stairs.
Can we open it?
Yes, absolutely. And so this is a green glow stick. It's neon. And so you just shake it up and it'll start to glow.
Okay.
And so those are the few first basic items that I think I had a whistle in here somewhere too. I'm sure it's under the dog stuff because, you know, dogs like whistles.
Okay. So this is like the basics.
These are the basics. This is what I really recommend everyone have in their kit at the minimum. Now, every kit we tell people to customize. So if you have specific, if you have children, you want to put things for them in their comfort items. If you are somebody who needs to be comforted, you might have a little stuffed animal or a blankie. Put those things nearby so that you can keep those with you. Because being in a shelter is a stressful time for everyone, and you really just want to have a comfort from home if you can.
Very nice. It really isn't that many things.
No, it's not a lot of stuff. We do recommend, it does get a little bit more robust once you start adding water and food. And we always talk about non-perishable foods like granola bars, crackers, things that you can eat and have a long shelf life.
Yep. Great. Now you mentioned the pet kit.
Pets.
So, people have pets, and if there's an emergency, a lot of people consider their pets like family.
And a lot of people won't evacuate if they don't feel that there's a place for their pets.
That's
true. Knowing that, we took into consideration a lot of different ways we can engage people who are pet owners, and one of the things we did was we purchased mobile pet shelters for the city.
Okay.
So these are basically big shelter trailers that are heated and cooled, so they're climate controlled. They have stations for veterinarian to come inside and tend to the pets if there's any injuries, and for people to come in and take their pets and have a regular interaction with them. We have those pet shelters because we do realize some people have allergies to pets, or they just might have an aversion to animals because of past experiences. So this allows people to coexist with their pets and won't let them stay in harm's way.
Yeah.
So we do have pet bags that we give away, which is another emergency kit, but it's specific to pets. And so with that, we have a pet first aid kit. And so this first aid kit includes all different types of items that you'll use to help take care of your pet.
Okay.
And it's probably pretty similar to a first aid kit for a human, except there are certain types of ointments and things like that you may use with a pet. And so this helps alleviate anything. And you can also give it to a veterinarian if they're nearby to help have them take care of your pet if you're not sure what to do. So this is what comes inside of the bag. I'll put that up here.
Yeah.
We also have water dish and food dishes that come
that.
inside. So they're little, inflatable, they sit up nice and open. You fill it up with water, fill it up with food, and then you can collapse it, and they're plastic inside, so they're really easy to clean.
Yeah. Wow.
We can't let them leave without a ball.
No.
something to play with.
Yeah.
They need to be entertained too. Exactly. Yep. And then we have collars for the pets, just in case they don't have a collar if you had to run out the house. And also we do have a leash inside of the...
And it's a reflective collar.
Yes, it's reflective, so it allows them to be seen at night.
Yep.
Inside the bag we also have a leash and a rope so that you can tie them up and let them run around the yard if they're in a safe place, or there's not a place for them to really run free, but you want to let them get their exercise.
Wow.
So yes, we have a number of things for everyone, and we also have emergency bags, not just for dogs, but for cats as well.
Oh, okay.
It includes food and water inside of the bag, as well as with the human bags. We have human bags with the family bags.
Yeah.
We have water in here as well.
So that bag already has the water in there?
Yes.
Or it's just,
so
that's why it's so heavy?
Yes, that's why it's so heavy.
So you should have your water bag filled up.
You should fill that up because you still need water to clean yourself with, and if it's not safe. But this is emergency drinking water, and there's enough for a family of 5 inside of the bag. So I only took one of everything, but yes, this is part of the reason why the bag is so heavy.
Oh, that explains it. That bag is really heavy.
Yes, it's a little heavy, but it's definitely necessary.
And tell us more. So I know there's an event coming up, and you will be giving some of this stuff away at that event, or is it just an education? Okay.
So at the event, we're going to have a ton of different agencies participating, providing tables and resources for folks, and we're going to encourage people to also walk around and with the passport get stamps at every station, and when they're done they can come and get a family bag when they submit their passport.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And so do you have the date on that?
Yes, it's September 27th, and the event is from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Tobin Community Center.
Very nice. So that'll be a great event. That's your big culmination of September Preparedness.
Gonna wrap it all up then, and it should be very exciting. We're gonna have a mock emergency shelter set up so that people can see what an emergency shelter looks like.
And that's important. I mean, I think it's very frightening for people to think about, how to be prepared and think about a potential catastrophe in their house. So I think this event is a great way to kind of show them maybe what the experience is like, so that take some of that fear away, right? Because a lot of fear is about unknown.
And that's what our reality is we want people to know what things are going to look like and understand it's not going to be like home, but it's not going to be boot camp either. We're going to try and make sure that you feel comfortable and you feel safe, but you're in a mass sheltering situation, so it's not going to be exactly the same. There are quiet hours. There are different types of rules that you have to observe to be considerate of everyone around you.
So be honest, do you have a preparedness kit at home?
I do, actually. And I have a storage of water, and that's because I think I've scared myself into it.
I wanted to ask you that so badly. I was like, should I be like, no, I don't.
No, I do. And I actually have a crank radio in my car, but I also keep a cache of them in case I randomly run into an event or something. So I kind of keep a standby stash of things. So I think I feel pretty good.
So you have prepared stuff all over the house.
Definitely.
So are you and your department prepared for September Preparedness Month?
Yes, we are. We're
Good.
ready to go, and I'm just, I'm really excited. The mayor is super excited. He wrote a column all about National Preparedness Month, and he's looking forward to just kicking it off and celebrating it as his first Preparedness Month as our mayor. So that's awesome.
So tell us one more time what the website is so people can learn more about, the kit and everything.
I didn't tell you yet.
You didn't tell me yet, so tell me
This
once.
will be the first time. So our website is www.boston.gov/ReadyBoston. And there we have information about how you can create a communications plan, everything that goes into an emergency kit, and how you can sign up for Alert Boston.
Great. Well, if you can believe it, our time is up. We had so much to talk about, so interesting. Thank you for coming and showing us all your goodies and telling us how to be prepared, or educating us on how to be prepared.
Absolutely. And if anyone has any questions, they can always contact my office.
Great. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for watching today. Today was brought to you by Mayor Martin J. Walsh and Commissioner Emily Shea. To contact us, please call 617-635-4366. Or you can call the mayor's 24-hour hotline at 617-635-4500. You can also email us at elderly@boston.gov, and you can find us on Facebook. Take care. We'll see you next time.
We're going to do the closing one more time.
Yeah.
David said sorry.
It's okay. I went with it.
David has ice cream.
Ice cream?
Yeah.
All right, tell me when to go.
2, 1.
Thank you for watching Seniors Count, brought to you by Mayor Martin J. Walsh and our Commissioner Emily Shea. To contact us, please call 617-635-4366 or the mayor's 24-hour hotline at 617-635-4500. You can also email us at elderly@boston.gov, and you can find us on Facebook. Take care. We'll see you next time.
I see skies of blue and clouds of white, bright blessed days, dark sacred nights, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I think to myself,